Hi, folks. I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to another one of my political cartoon countdowns for April 19th, 2024. Well, we made it through, and making it through April. Pretty soon it'll be May, and it'll be summertime. So anyway, folks, I want to get right to the countdown, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I write books, political cartoon books, and I put up cartoons on the social media platforms like Facebook and X and etc. And I would like to tell you a little bit about how I come to the top 3 cartoons. It's based upon impressions on X. So every week or two, I look at the impressions and I pick out the top 3 impressions on X, and I shoot it out to you. So without any further delay, let's get to it. Okay, this is number 3. Number 3 here. Okay, now here we have the man of the hour, Judge Juan Merchan. Say good. Here he is. There he is. Okay. There he is. And who else? There's President Trump, former President Trump, and now candidate, Republican nominee for the presidency, Donald Trump. And here is his Bible that he's holding in his hand. And there's the former president having a dream about his courtroom appearance before this judge. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you so I don't make any mistakes in presenting it to you. Donald Trump, presumptive Republican presidential nominee, dream of delaying his hush money trial in a criminal case in Manhattan. He's tried everything he could to delay the case before New York Judge Juan Merchan. Just ahead of jury selection on Monday, April 15th, 2024, when it began, the jury selection on last Monday, when the judge will begin weeding out scores of people for potential biases or other reasons they cannot serve in his courtroom. So we saw today a few people, some of the who had been selected, these people said, I can't handle this. It's too much for me. You know, this is just too much. And some of them broke down in tears, and they just had to take, I guess they're going to bring in the alternates, and pretty soon you're going to see some alternates, and then they're going to have to bring in more. Who knows? It may be like a revolving door jury. I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not. And I mean, this is really the test of our democracy that we could hold. When you think about it, it's a litmus test for our democracy, whether we can have a trial for a former president of the United States, a criminal trial, no less. It's a litmus test for our democracy to see if it holds up to if justice, whatever the outcome, if it can be brought in a lawful way with procedures, and he should be treated just like anybody else. And if this goes through, and he is to the people, the things that he said and this and that and all that business, nobody else would have ever gotten away with that. So I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the proceeding itself, the trial. Okay, I'm not talking about the banter leading up to the trial, and I don't want to go. We've already gone into that, but I want to express here the fact that we could hold a formal trial and get through it is a litmus test for our democracy to see if it holds up and if justice can prevail. Okay, so that's my thought on that one. Just throwing that in. Potential biases or other reasons they cannot serve in his courtroom. With remaining called into a jury box to answer 42 questions, which Merchan gave 42 questions. Given Trump has called the case a scam and said it's very unfair, the trial is in Manhattan. So the former president has said that it's very unfair, that he cannot get a fair trial in Manhattan based upon people, the way they vote in that city, and they're predominantly Democrats there and liberals. So the thing is that when we looked at the jury and they explained to us who the jury people were, they didn't give us their names, but they all seemed like pretty centered people that were going to do the right thing, and could arrive at a decision based upon the facts and not upon their own biases. So I was very impressed when I heard the resumes of those people they selected. Could have been from anywhere in the country. Could have been from anywhere. Could have even been from Texas. All right, so here we go. Now, here we have it here. Now, I want to reintroduce this. Here it is. Now, here is the former president going up before the judge. Okay? He's saying, before trial begins, Your Honor, I want all selected jurors to read this God Bless the USA Bible and pass a test on it with 80% or higher. And that includes, with it, the Constitution. So they have to read the Bible and they have to read the Constitution, and they'll be getting a test or quiz based upon all that reading. And if they don't get an 80 grade, then we go on to the next. They got to keep on studying, delaying their trial. So that was my fabrication there, symbolizing the delay tactics. Okay, now here's Merchan responding to that. There he is. And he's responding to that. And he's saying, Defendant Donald Trump, the court grants your motion. I know how you feel about Manhattan jurors. Hope you are enjoying your dream. So this is what I kind of put this together, because this would never happen, that he would ever grant him such a wish. And I don't think, I don't know about President Trump not bringing forth his Bible before the jurors. Well, he might do that before the trial is over, come up with his Bible. So that's can't leave that one out. So anyway, so that was what I did there. Trying to symbolize the delay tactics, and President Trump coming to reality. The dream is over, and he's acknowledging that this is a dream, and you have to wake up now and face the music in a way, whatever the music plays. So that was the symbolism behind this cartoon here. Okay, there you go. There's the bars of justice, symbolizing justice that I drew there. Bible, the dream, and former President Trump with his thumbs up, holding the Bible. Okay, that was numero tres, number 3. Number 2, here we have Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's been on. I mean, it's like a circus what she's doing now up there with trying to kick out, kick out the Speaker, Mike Johnson, who's finally mustered, I gotta say this, mustered the balls to go ahead and defy those Republican right-wingers and do the right thing for the country and for the world, So, and she wants to have him thrown out of his office or put forth a vote, and she's getting a few people falling from the tree and joining her, So, and now I heard her tonight that there's a Russian media station that's broadcasting that Marjorie Taylor Greene is now in control. They said I heard this, that Marjorie Taylor Greene controls Congress, and that Mike Johnson and everybody else there is afraid of her, and she controls the Congress. So what they're doing basically is 2 things. They're saying that we got to keep fighting, and she doesn't want any part of Ukraine or NATO. So they're saying they're giving the Russian people hope that they will, that America will not do go forth with providing aid, military aid, and for the missiles they need, the defense missiles and the ammunition they need. Two things: defense missiles and ammunition they need. And they're saying that that's not going to happen because Marjorie Taylor Greene is in control of Congress, and everybody's walking around, "Where's Marjorie Taylor Greene?" But that's proven false today by what Mike Johnson has done. You see, so this was a recording. This was a recording from, wasn't today, from back up. And they're also saying that there's no democracy in the world. If Marjorie Taylor Greene is controlling Congress, and Congress calls the shots, then there's no. Well, we have it pretty good here in Russia, at least nobody's fighting with each other, and President Putin is in charge, and there's no protests and people walking around with a lot of silliness. We're down to business, and we're united behind Vladimir Putin, and there's nobody in the Russian system of justice who's challenging him. We have stability here in Russia. So they're saying basically that too. So they're saying a lot of things with that statement that Marjorie Taylor Greene is in charge, So I just threw that one in. I heard that. I heard it. So that's not here. That's not hearsay. That I heard. So I couldn't believe it. So anyway, and this lady has an office in the Capitol. All right, I'm not going to go further with that. So here it is. Here's the cartoon. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene in her X or tweet, whatever you want to call it. And here's President Trump, former President Trump. And there's the tweet, and I want to read it to you here. Former President Trump and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump reading a post on X from big supporter Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican Georgia, after a 4.8 magnitude earthquake hit New Jersey Friday morning. And Greene saying the earthquake that struck near Trump's Bedminster golf course is proof that God is sending America strong signs to repent. So now she's saying the supernatural is giving us a sign. We're getting a sign from the supernatural, from God. That she's invoking God here. God is on the side of former President Trump, and he's trying to lead the way to voting for President Trump, and he's angry, and that's why the earthquake was so close to his Bedminster, New Jersey, Bedminster. I said bar mitzvah, Bedminster golf club, because God is angered. Now I hear she said. Now, this is something I don't listen to her like this when she speaks, but I thought I heard her say, talking about lasers again, about having space lasers over the border here. I think, now nobody could say I'm saying this, I'm just thinking I heard it, okay? I think I heard her say that she wants to exchange the aid to Israel in exchange for having money invested in space lasers shooting down, preventing people from going over the border. So the whole border would be lined with space lasers from outer space. We'd have like orbiting satellites or space stations up in space that would be sending down these waves, laser waves, and everybody who goes past the United States. That's what I think I heard, okay? Sounded like it. Sounded like very in line with the way she has been speaking. So anyway, so here we go now with her tweet on her tweet on X, okay? They haven't come up with a name for calling something on X and an X tweet. I don't know. They haven't come up with a name of that, so I'm going to continue to use tweet on X. So here she goes. Here it was. There, okay. And Marjorie Taylor Greene. And here she is. There it is. And she puts an American flag. She put a Russian flag there, That's my opinion, okay? Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene at MT Green, Greenee. I don't know if she misspelled her own name or whether that was deliberate. She put 2 E's at the end. Follow, okay? Well, I'm following you, Marjorie. Here you are. I'm doing better than following. I'm writing down. I'm drawing your whole tweet. God is sending America strong signs to tell us to repent. Earthquakes and eclipses. I bet she threw in the eclipse too, you know, that we had last week. And many more things to come. I pray that our country listens. Well, nobody died from the eclipse. The eclipse was just when the moon and the sun just bypass each other, and the moon blocks out the sun, and there was no disaster there of any kind. It was just for a few minutes. So I don't know how she can include eclipses with earthquakes. You know, it's a big difference between an earthquake and an eclipse. But she did. Okay, now here goes. I pray that our country listens. And here goes President Trump. Here. And he goes, okay, he goes, me too, Marjorie. I pray our country listens. I pray they listen to you and elect me president in November. God is very angry at America for this political witch hunt against me, led by crooked and corrupt prosecutors and judges. Marjorie forgot to write that in 2027, during my next presidency, a huge asteroid will be flying by us. By us, I mean by the Earth. I put here us. I mean it's by us, meaning the entire Earth. There's an asteroid that will come relatively closer than they usually come to us, but there's no danger. Nobody's calling that it's going to hit us or anything like that. But it's coming closer than they usually do in 2020 during my next presidency. A huge asteroid is a huge one that they said will be flying by us. If I am not elected president, God could make this America's last election with that asteroid. That asteroid is a big thing. So President Trump would be falling in line with Marjorie Taylor Greene, because President Trump has already said that if he's not elected, it'll be the last presidency we ever have. He said that, and it's the end of the country. He said that. I heard him say stuff like that. Maybe he didn't. I don't know if he said it's the end of the country, but he said he implied something like that. A country as we know it. Let's put it this way: end of the country as we know it, not the end of the country. I don't think he would have said. I don't know. I don't think he would have said that. Not yet, anyway. I think he said as we know it, probably the end of the country as we know it. Okay, and then the asteroid. You know, that would be expanding on Marjorie Taylor Greene's hypothesis there that God is angry at America for the way they treated Trump in the courtroom, and the prosecutors and the judges. Okay. So that was numero dos de la semana, number 2 of the week. Okay, folks, before I do number 1, I just want to tell you about what's been going on here. Now, this is my newest book here, and I hope you would go to my website if you have the time and check it out under Richard's Books at politicalcartoons.com and look at the sample cartoons from the book, the first five pages there, and you'll see the cartoons. And there's a link. All you have to do is, if you decide you want the book, all you have to do is go to a link on that website, Richard's Books at politicalcartoons.com, and the link is there, and you can write into Amazon, and they'll ship it out to you real quick. Those people are good at shipping good. So there it is. That's the book. Now, what amazes me is that this book here is selling as good as my 2 past books, and this book has been selling equal to my best of 2023 cartoon books, and this was the one. This is the greatest 2021 book of political cartoons, edition 1. So in that year, in 2021, I did 2 books and this is the edition 1 from January to June. So this is selling as good as my new book. And there it is. And it's also on my website there, along with my other books as well. I think I've written about 8 or 9 books, about 9 books already. So this book is right out there, and it's doing, like I said, as good as the book, my current book is. And there it is. And this book is also doing well. This is the first time that's happened when people buying books from the past. But it's something, because the past is really, when you come right down to it, it's prologue to the present. Because everything that's happened here, you could have surmised that it was going to happen. I mean, it's all just building up, you know. So I go through these books myself just to look back sometimes, and I find it entertaining for my own self, enjoy my own work, thinking back. So this is the other book, and this was the greatest 2020 book of political cartoons on issues of the Donald J. Trump presidency. This was the whole year 2020, the entire year. Okay, all right. Okay, folks. Now for número uno de la semana. Okay. Here is number one. This is really amazing. Here we have Russian President Vladimir Putin. Here he is at the Kremlin. And he's watching Representative Tim Walberg. Wait, Russian President Vladimir Putin. Here's Russian. Okay. There he is. Russian President Vladimir Putin, watching Representative Tim Walberg appearing to be advising Israel to nuke Gaza. So here is Tim Walberg here, okay, he's appearing to advise Israel to nuke Gaza, from what he said. He basically said that, and I heard him say I had to listen to it 5 or 6 times to believe what I was hearing, that to end the Israel-Hamas war quick, quote, he used the word quick, amid Putin discussing the conflict with an operative. And I hear Russian President Putin on the phone with an operative. There. He's on the phone with an operative and discussing this, what he's seeing here. Okay, so with an operative, given last month, Putin told the West that Russia was technically ready for nuclear war. Now, that's what, in translated, that's what he came across. He said, technically, we're ready for nuclear war. That was April 2nd, 2024. So here is Tim Walberg, Republican from Michigan, member of the House of Representatives, congressman. Here he is. Okay. We should not be spending a dime on aid to Gaza. Not a dime. He said that this is word for word now. I didn't make any of this up. We should not be spending a dime on aid to Gaza. It should be like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, over quick. So we also, boom, in history, we watched documentaries on what it looked like when the bomb was dropped on, I think it was dropped on first Hiroshima and then Nagasaki. We saw that the mushroom cloud, and we saw the photos of the people of what happened there. So he's advocating. He was basically advocating that by he didn't come out and say, oh, we should nuke them. Let's nuke. But when he's talking, he's making this analogy between Hiroshima and Nagasaki over quick. What else could you think that he was implying there? You know, he didn't go out and say, let's nuke them. He didn't. But when you by de facto, he said it, really, by de facto, because he put the pieces of the puzzle all there, and you put the pieces to the puzzle, and you get let's go ahead and nuke Gaza. You know, if you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, you know. So I'm not going to say put words in his mouth. This is what he did say, word for word. Nothing more, nothing less. You decide. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we have Russian President Putin calling up an operative to tell him what he just witnessed an American lawmaker saying. He's speaking to an operative. Okay? Say, over quick is what I want for Ukraine. I like this American leader, Wahlberg. He advised Israel to nuke Gaza, but he didn't advise us Russians to nuke Ukraine. He didn't say nothing about that, you know. He didn't advise us Russians to nuke Ukraine. Very sad. But nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. There it is. Nobody's perfect. To say that that we should nuke the Russians also should go ahead and do a Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He didn't say that, but nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Okay, folks. I hope you enjoyed my my top 3 cartoons, and my prayers go out to all those people in harm's way, all our military people out there who are stationed in Iraq and in Syria, and all the people in Gaza who are facing now the possibility of another bombardment from Israel. I hope they find another way to go about their business. The Israelis, no one's saying that they haven't got a right to protect themselves, but at what price? What's the price of protecting Israel? The price is to lose respect to the world and to kill all those innocent people and maim them, and it's a big price, you know. So I think Netanyahu should think about that and say to himself, you know, he reaches a point of use an economic way of putting it in diminishing returns, because how many of them are going to get, and the leaders are not even there. And it's more an idea, and out of those people who they bombard will rise up, the children of those people who survive will rise up someday and form another kind of group. Okay, so you knock off Hamas, they'll come up with another group with another name, and it goes on and on. So anyway, that's my thought there, and I'll say it out to you folks. God bless you, and God bless America, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks.